Hi, Spring Glen Church. As we inch closer and closer to potentially moving inside, fingers crossed, for worship, I wanted to give you a quick tour of some of the ways we are trying to make it a safe and meaningful transition, starting with outside. Our greeters before church and our pastors after church will be greeting people outside from now on, because that historically has been a place of bottlenecking in our foot traffic. So some of the changes that we've been making and some of the ways that you'll see the building is different is to try and encourage smoother foot traffic. When you come into the building, you'll first notice these 3 green signs on the door, and you'll see similar green signs throughout the building, reminding everyone of the safety protocols or teaching them to you if you haven't heard them before. But the big ones as you come into the building to note is 1 and 2, masks and vaccinations are required for indoor worship. So make sure to wear your mask and get vaccinated. And if you choose not to get vaccinated, or if you're feeling sick one day, we invite you to stay home and join us virtually for worship, because that will continue to be an option to worship virtually indefinitely. As you come into the main lobby area, you might notice it's a little bit sparser and a little bit more bare. We tried to get rid of some of the clutter. Over here we'll have a welcome table. That welcome table has extra masks and hand sanitizer and tissues. You'll see that there's some more green signs up there talking about some more of the protocols, and you'll see that our name tag stand moved to the other side of the room. This is another thing that has caused foot traffic bottlenecking in the past, and so we invite you to take your name tag and bring it home with you and then bring it back with you each week so that we can reduce some of the foot traffic bottlenecking in that area. As we move in here into this, what was formerly the greeting area, I'll point out this sign here that says we use Hepa Filters. We have updated the heating system in the sanctuary so that it cycles the air every 15 minutes completely through Hepa filters, so that that all of us can breathe easy and know that we are reducing the risk as much as possible. And we will also have the windows open to bring in some fresh air. So make sure to bring a coat with you or dress in layers so that you are, able to stay warm during the service if we keep the windows open. So you'll see this seating chart here sort of explains that the pews are going to be sort of marked off, cut in half, and then alternating pew halves will be marked off to make sure that we can be socially distant during the worship service. So you'll see what that looks like in practice are these colorful ribbons on each pew. So we have the rope down the middle, as you can see, and then each pew half is marked off so that people can stay socially distant. Similarly, we have also marked off or closed off our balcony for the time being. But that means that there's roughly 100 seats available on a Sunday. Hopefully, as case numbers drop, we'll be able to open up some more pews. But for now, that is how we're spacing out. Similarly, we will be closing off the front 3 pews completely on both sides, and that's because we want to have speakers be able to take off their masks so that people can read lips and you can understand the speakers and a little bit better. Singers, however, will remain masked because singing is one of the riskiest activities. So in the first phase of our return to indoor worship, we will not be doing congregational singing, and we'll only be doing a combination of solos and duets and pre-recorded group music. But pay attention to announcements, as hopefully, fingers crossed, after a couple months of very low case numbers, then we'll start to reassess our ability to sing together as a church. You also see some things, some weird carpets here. So this carpet here, in some places, the carpets are put there to protect you from tripping over wires that are moving across the aisle. This table here, you'll see we've widened this aisle and put this table in here. That is going to be where our tech guys will be stationed to run the live stream and run the sound system. You'll see that there's projectors that are going to be set up on both sides of the church so that if there's a pre-recorded video or a virtual participant worship leader, that the people who are in person can see and hear those folks as well. Then this carpet we stole from the Sunday school wing downstairs. God is love indeed. And this will appear on Sundays when we have children's times that we invite kids to come forward for, so that we can have them, give them a visual for how to space out instead of, historically they've just piled on top of each other, and it's been a big, joyful mess. So now it'll be a little bit more of an organized, joyful mess. On top of the HEPA filters in our heating system that's built into the sanctuary, we also have installed a couple of these freestanding units in spaces that don't get as air circulation as easily. So we've put one or two of those up in the Great Hall. We've put one up here in the choir loft. And we'll have a couple stationed out throughout the building. I think that's all the main points that I wanted to cover. Each week, we're going to start by reciting a covenant, or a call and response covenant, to remind ourselves of these things and be mindful so that people can really feel safe and welcome and included in this space as we return to worship. Again, we're diligently watching the case numbers and constantly assessing and reassessing the protocols that are in place to make sure we are making the best decisions and balancing all the physical, medical, and spiritual needs of the church. We hope that with kids getting vaccinated and booster shots being delivered, that fingers crossed we'll be able to move in very soon. In the meantime, thank you for your patience. Thank you for joining us on the lawn, outside, and online as well, so that we can continue being this thriving, open and affirming congregation, this vision of God's kingdom, modeling for the world what it means to care for each other, even if it's inconvenient. So friends, blessings, and I hope to see you soon.